Hello, welcome to some questions about just friends to return to the business so I can maybe see the old recent.
Yep, another week, another show, more game stream footage. I actually need to check to see where I was in Pokemon Red the last time I showed it. But yeah, it's been a somewhat quiet week. I mean, I did have work this week, but it was like very light workload, like 12 people one night, 2 people on Thursday, and actually 31 on Friday. But yeah, it just waiting for more stuff to arrive in the mail, and yeah. Also, my 3DS capture card seems to have stopped working, so that's annoying. Like, I may have to send it in to get a different capture card installed. So in the meantime, I'm gonna be playing the Game Boy games via emulator. I didn't want to have to do that. I wanted to play on authentic hardware, but you kind of have to deal with the hand that's been dealt to you, and that's just how it's gonna have to be for the moment. But yeah, um, oh, also I set up my art tablet as a fourth monitor. Partly because like I had another HDMI, well, yeah, another HDMI slot on my computer, and B, sometimes when I'm streaming games, it's kind of hard to see stuff on the main screen because the microphone's in the way. So I figured like, okay, having like a, mind you, a slightly smaller screen, but a screen lower where I can look down at it to see it, that might help things a bit. But yeah, other than that, just did some birthday week splurging. Free Starbucks and free Dutch Bros on Wednesday. Uh, a Dairy Queen Blizzard on Thursday. Although that was part birthday splurge and part I got dragged into work for just 2 people. I just wanted to kind of treat myself for that. But yeah, and Friday I got myself a one of the Safeway carrot cake slices. Though part of that was because I had a Safeway reward running out, and you can redeem 3 of them for a $5 off a bakery purchase. So I figured, like, why not? But yeah, yeah, not much else going on this week. Just, you know, whatever. Yeah. I have a bit more video editing I have to do at some point, like, episode 2 of Pokemon Blue, and now 3, plus episode. Did I do episode 3? 4 episodes, 4 and maybe 3 of Scarlet. Although one thing people might notice on the game footage is that I've been adding these pop-ups during the game, basically. Oh hey, yeah, I got this Pokemon on. So like, okay, that's how many I've caught so far out of how many is in the regional decks. It's like, okay, something nice to kind of keep track. It just A, spices it up a bit, and B, it's actually useful to keep tabs of where I need to go to cut things down for the highlights video. And yeah, I didn't do it on the first episode, but I think on the second one, I uh, I cut down the sides of the capture portion. because with the virtual console stuff, you got that black border. So I cut that down, put like a nice blue background for Pokemon Blue, a Pokemon Blue logo, and all that. It's like it just wanted to make it look a bit nicer. But yeah, currently on stream, it's like yeah, just duping the Stardust Squirtle a couple times, and then transferring one over to Pokemon Red version to get taught like Surf, Strength, Dig, and Ice Beam. This is it's the second game in the generation I'm playing. I might as well make it easy on myself so I can get things done quickly. Because yeah, I think there's only like less than 20 Pokemon left that I need to add to the dex. So yeah, and 3 of those won't be till Pokemon Green. But yeah, enough rambling about gameplay stuff. Oh, I also set up a thing for dual screen footage because it was weird with Pokemon Red because like I do the Pokemon storage transfer thing, but it's like they could only see one screen, so I was only capturing the screen that the virtual console is playing on. Of course, now I don't need to do that since I'm using emulator. So it's like, up, that effort was for nothing, at least for now. But if I do send it to get modded again, at least this time I don't have to send it to the UK. The other main person doing capture card installations lives in Utah, so it's like, okay, finally someone a bit closer. Still annoying though. Anyway, how was your week? Um,
Oh yeah. I managed to finish taking care of something. Instead of hanging over mom's head. Some meal sorting as well as shelf display. Friday had a few hiccups, but just about managed to take care of. How usually goes. Certain lunch. Feel that stuff. And a few munchings. Was a bit sporadic getting the sheet ready, but still managed. Just. Managed to get a few notifications and things out of the way. For parents about plans for the year. Some of them pending, but some of the things pending, but basic interests. Well, at least we're meant to be preparing for one of those, but at least the folks know about it. Going into until I prepare myself for another afternoon of board games, but hopefully if I play the cards right, shouldn't get too much in the way of things. Trying a few strategies. Might have to. Maybe to seriously consider another. Maybe to seriously consider some kind of maintenance or replacement thing, but hopefully we should be okay tonight. But yes, everything with mom. Bit more relaxing.
Right. So, okay, so I guess, unless there's anything else we can think of to talk about the past week, guess time to discuss the videos. Okay, so YouTube ponies. So yeah, apparently they're celebrating the oh god, my mind blanked. Hold on, check something. Sparky's basically birthday, I guess. And it's like, okay, yeah, got him a huge cake. Like, now make a wish. And Sparky starts looking at a mirror. It's like, you want a new mirror? No. Sparky wants like a brother or something. Like, oh. And then he breathes fire onto the cake. Now there's a cake dragon. That can't be good. But at least the news anchors are taking it well. What's the dragon taste like? Tastes like catastrophe. But yeah, and they actually try that thing where it's like, okay, get it to run through a net to break it up, but it just regenerates. Also, don't throw cake at it, it just absorbs it, makes it bigger. Honestly, I would have said, like, I don't know, get it to rain on the dragon? I mean, like, then the cake would get all soggy, and like, would probably lose cohesion. I don't know, maybe? It's a bit tricky when magic's involved. But yeah, when the dragon puts Sparky in danger, he just like, okay, that's enough, and creates a massive flower that eats the dragon. And like, okay, dragon's taken care of, but Sparky's still sad. Okay. So he has the flower turn the remains of the dragon into like a little stuffed dragon. Like, okay, this works. And then Sparky's like all like, Papa. Like, first words. Okay. Yeah, it was a nice episode. Like, yeah.
Another good round of fun, cute, typical abnormal shenanigans.
Yep. But yeah, you'd think Maritime Bay would be used to this chaos by now. Then again, you probably could have said that about Ponyville. But yeah, yeah, it was a good episode. And I'm kind of thinking we may get like, for a few episodes, you might get like ones where it's like, okay, so, an episode for each of the main cast members to kind of show off, you know. It's like ever since the basically lately it seems like they've been kind of evoking like elements of harmony-ish stuff lately. So it's like, okay, everyone will get to show off their whole thing. I mean, I know the whole cutie marks thing was a thing before, but it's like they've really been like kind of going more into that whole theoretically what they're supposed to represent for that whole sort of thing. Yeah. it was enjoyable. Like, okay, cake dragon, that's different. Like, okay, yeah. And then we watched The Rescuers. And no, they haven't gone to Australia yet. I believe that's the next film. But yeah, so orphan girl sentence rescue request via bottle. Apparently the UN basically has a secret mouse branch of itself dedicated to rescuing people. Like, okay, at first it's like, oh, oh, I guess. Well, it's also shown that later on that I guess the orphan could understand what the cat was saying. So like, oh, people can understand the animals in this universe. But no, apparently it's either just her or children. Like, okay, we're working under Kiki's delivery service animal speak rules. Okay, got it. So yeah,
You know how it is. Most adults usually have a more harsher reaction when it comes to
yeah. But yeah, it's up to the Hungarian representative, Miss Bianca, along with Janitor Bernard, to go save Penny, the orphan. And it's like it's interesting. Bernard's all like, "Oh, that sounds dangerous. You probably shouldn't go." But yeah, Miss Bianca is an adventure junkie. Like, she is all about the adventure. It's like, whereas Bernard would be more like, okay, we should probably take things slowly, be careful. Bianca's like, you only live once. But that doesn't mean she doesn't have her more feminine side either. Like, of course, he packs a decent amount of luggage with her to go on the trip. She doesn't want to buckle up tightly because that would mess with her dress. So it's like it's not all adventure. It's like actually she's well balanced. Like, yeah, she's a well written character. But yeah, apparently Penny's with this I guess pawn shop owner named Medusa. Like, oh yeah, that that sure is a villain name. It's like, but yeah, apparently that was where she was last seen or something. But yeah, basically Medusa wants Penny to go into a small cave to get a large diamond called the Devil's Eye. I'm still trying to work out like how this entire situation came to be. Like, okay, so Penny ran away from the orphanage, and then just so happened to run into Medusa, and he was all like, "Oh, perfect! The last piece I needed for my plan, a small child." Like, and then takes said child from her shop in New York all the way. to Devil's Bio in Louisiana. It's like, couldn't you have kidnapped a child in Louisiana? Taking one from New York seems a bit excessive. And a bit impractical, too. How did she even... How did she even get Penny to back to Louisiana anyway? I mean... Okay, so New York's over there, Okay, yeah, so like if they took a boat, they would have had to go along the east coast of the United States, down and around Florida, and back up around again. Because if I know my state shapes right, Louisiana is at the bottom of the United States, about to the right of Texas, I think. I mean, yeah, I could have taken a plane or something, but like, surely Penny would have raised a fuss or something. Yeah, the more I think about it, like, I mean, okay, I know children's movie, but still, it's, yeah, um, but yeah, Medusa has a henchman, Mr. Snoops, and two crocodiles. Now the crocodiles, they don't like Mr. Snoops. They seem to, honestly, it seems like they don't really have too much issue with Penny. It's like, it's just a job's a job, you know? And they like Medusa. But yeah, the duo get to Louisiana via Albatross and Dragonfly. They meet up with a couple close to where Penny is. It's like, okay, we need to get reinforcements. We'll send a signal. Until then, wait here. And yeah, the shenanigans ensue. And yeah, like there's this whole thing of like, okay, the diamond is inside a skull, but it's too big to fit through the eye, like the round hole. Like, silly mice. The diamond goes in the square hole. That post will never not be funny. But like, okay, Medusa has the diamond. Now she has no need for Snoops or Penny. They're like, okay, I'm gonna point the scan at you. I'm gonna walk off and be on my way. Mice intervene. Snoops and Medusa both try to get to the diamond. Because, like, yeah, Stoops now sees that, like, okay, yeah, he was just being used. And then Medusa commits one of the most heinous acts in animation ever seen. She shoots a gun at a small child. In a Disney film. But it also came out in 1977, so maybe shooting guns at children was more acceptable back then. I don't know.
There were no hits also, so
I mean, no one got hit, but still, it kind of feels like even pointing a gun at a small child is something that's usually avoided, you know?
of note, I believe the notes for the MPA rating mentioned alcohol Tabasco references. That was the only caution.
Yeah. And again, and Disney films do tend, at least up to a point, do tend to be a bit on the brutal side. Like you got shooting the gun at child in this one. Um, Mufasa's death and Scar's death in Lion King. Gaston on basically what happens to Gaston in Beauty and the Beast.
And in an obscure note, electrocution and flatline by subway.
Yeah. Just check.
Oh, and Hunter falls over a waterfall in the next movie.
Ah, I forget was Tarzan Disney? I want to say it was because Kingdom Hearts. Because if you include Tarzan, then death by unintentionally self-induced hanging.
I'm embarrassed to admit it took me a while to wrap my head around that.
Yeah. Any other examples? Go into the list of Disney films through the decades.
Eaten by carton acid and bits collapsing if you want to go in a certain direction.
Yeah.
And in something just as obscure.
Yep.
Sentient alien booby trip dismembering astronauts.
Wow, Pocahontas was 1995. Part of me feels like it was like it came out like earlier than that. Huh. Yeah, we don't talk about Pocahontas. Like, nope. Yeah. Um. But yeah, so the group gets away. The diamond gets donated to a museum. Penny gets adopted. And like at the end, and like she's being interviewed, like, no, I didn't do it by myself. The mice helped me. The mice, yeah. And then we learned like, oh, normally people can't understand animals, so it's like, okay, yeah. and it's like, oh hey, there's another request for help. Someone should do something about that. And Bernard's like, someone should probably volunteer for that. And Bianca's like, I'll do it. And Bernard's just like, but we just got back. Like I said, Bianca's an adventure junkie. And honestly, having that trait for the female character is a refreshing change of pace for how the female of these typical movies is portrayed.
And also, she's quite a stickler towards the part of the society and the basic concept of their missions.
Yeah.
No backing down. They're willing to do something when others begin to run dry in this case.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think most of the harsh Disney death stuff was in the 90s, which makes sense because like the 90s were kind of edgy like that. Or at least that was like the last major period where, you know, yeah.
It slowly picked up in the 80s, though, because remember it was late 80s, and that was Impalement.
What was that again?
Because remember it was late 80s, and that was Impalement.
Yeah.
And before that, as mentioned before, another rich film, like Cauldron, quite the villain death.
Yep. But yeah, looking at the voice cast, honestly, the only one I really recognize is Bob Newhart as Bernard. Oh, wow, he's still alive. Huh.
These would be classics, though. If anyone does their research well enough, or has much enough shows beyond their well before their time.
Hmm?
Zsa Zsa Gabor's sister Ava. Everyone knows Green Acres might know that name, silly. one of two penultimates, Joe Flynn. His death means so much of history. Ben Bertram, his voice might recognize if you remember Robin Hood. Another penultimate, Jim Jordan. He would retire shortly thereafter. Bernard Parks also done a lot of Disney work. And also the first pick on John Fielder was in this. As I said, that you're going to have to know your Disney history or be well trained in the ear department in order to catch some familiar voices.
Oh, Michelle Stacy, the voice of Penny, was young girl with coffee in Airplane. Like, okay, sure. Yeah, like the one main cast member without a wiki page.
One of two, actually. The news anchor was also
Ah, didn't see that there. Yeah.
not linked.
But yeah, it's like as far as child voice actors go, she did good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with anything with children and film, whether it's voice acting or live action, tends to be a bit hit or miss. So just so they had good direction.
Yeah, As for the smuggling thing, I suspect she was able to catch a plane at some point in a way of not causing any suspicion, especially given the treatments we'll discover. But yeah, I guess I'm starting to understand a little bit about some of the questions Cersei had asked before.
Mm-hmm.
I still can remember all the points in trivia, but ones I can come up with. Apparently Cruella was supposed to make a comeback, but obviously don't want crossover starts. Although I wouldn't be surprised if there was some design influence. Trilogy of Adventures episode inspired the Schützberg for our Curse's flight plan. And of course, one of the things that probably gets that no doubt gets a mention whenever this is brought up. How the original voice had a blink and you'll miss it moment. That was thankfully. It was probably overlooked at the time, but. Still, later releases call that split second and made sure no one would see it.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was a good movie. And honestly, if I were to rate the films from this month, I would say the top one would be Rescuers, followed by Alpha and Omega, then Swan Princess, then finally Scarecrow.
There have been some ups and downs in Rich's career, but at the very least, none of the ones we covered have actually. None of the ones we covered have been, well, real stinkers, at least, because at least they managed to have something interesting about them, and something that doesn't. So the main question, if you have a family of an interest or something.
Oh, hold on a moment. I don't know. But yeah, none of the movies were like bad or anything. But like, honestly, this week and last week, honestly, it was like the writing for the main characters that really put them ahead of the other two.
Like I said, so much. Like I said, so much stronger. There's no ups and downs in Rich's career, but the ones we covered at least haven't been.
Yeah.
Anything worth getting upset over. It's hard to tell really which one is the first, but do you remember having a printing of a sequel and I think this one back in the day?
Yeah, like I don't think I actually ever saw this movie or the sequel before. Like, what was the other movie called? What was the thing I've seen called? Yeah, the mouse-led animated animal film thing I saw was An American Tail. Which also a good movie. Then again, I was mostly watching stuff that came on like standard television and Cartoon Network, so yeah.
I am naturally in that generation that did a lot of VHS renting as well as digesting, so pretty much anything that. And now I just remembered, not only was Don Bluth involved with this, but also into this, but this was one of the first films to utilize both slightly new talent, including Rich, as well as some of the classic talents such as Ollie Johnson, Frank Thomas, amongst a few others.
Nice.
It was a transition period. Some successes. Took some time to recover, of course, but it was definitely proof they were able to create good movies long after Walt's passing.
Yep.
But yeah, another two of movies I remember fondly. Hopefully I can digest the books at one point. Naturally, I haven't seen this again.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, movie was good. I would definitely recommend watching it.
And of course, there's all the good stories surrounding it. So that's enough to keep interest.
Yeah. Sliding into the news. Vince McMahon resigns from roles with WWE and TKO Group amid sexual assault and trafficking allegations. Now, some people may be like, oh, Vince is gone, everything's alright now. But as some forum posters have pointed out, yeah, there were still all the people who enabled him and knew about it and said nothing. So, yeah.
It's a slow process, especially if, of course, having to fill at one point face, and then slowly but surely the people behind the scenes.
Yeah. So, Pokemon's made a statement about Pal World. They're looking into it. Microsoft is laying off 1,900 people in its gaming division, including Activision Blizzard, just 3 months after closing its $69 billion acquisition. Blizzard's president and chief design officer have both also left the company. Nelson, Murdoch, and Page will return in Daredevil: Born Again. Pharrell Williams will release a movie about his life that is presented in Lego Animation in theaters on October 11th. Apparently, Nintendo's new console will launch this year with an 8-inch LCD screen. Wait. Yeah, if that is the case, they'd probably hold off until the second model where they just use an OLED screen again. Because that's how they're doing things these days. LED screen first, then like a year or two later, OLED screen. Takashi Yamazaki says there's been no talk of a Godzilla -1 sequel yet. Quote, but I might be a little sad if someone else is chosen to direct the next Godzilla movie. Of course there isn't going to be a sequel. What happens after Godzilla -1 is Godzilla. The first trailer for the Roadhouse remake has been releasing March 21st on Prime Video. Still not going to be the same as the original. The original one gave us MST3K's Patrick Swayze Christmas.
Oh, it's Family Guy.
Yeah. Carl Urban shares a set photo from Mortal Kombat 2 as he wraps filming as Johnny Cage.
To some of the inevitable awards givings, nominations for NAACP and the Oscars have been listed.
Nice. Paramount and Skydance are now discussing a potential merger. Tom Hollander says he accidentally got Tom Holland's box office bonus for the Avengers movies. Quote, "It was an astonishing amount of money. Not the whole box office bonus, the first one, and it was more money than I'd ever seen." I mean, clearly he was supposed to get the movie. He's Tom Holland, but more so, he's Tom Hollander. Of course, yeah, he has to watch or else his checks will get sent to Tom Hollandest.
Or Hart Push, the Child's Play Langoliers director.
Yeah. Doug Lehman says he's boycotting the premiere of his Roadhouse film after Amazon refused to give the film a theatrical release. Quote, "Amazon asked me and the film community to trust them and their public statements about supporting cinemas, and then they turned around and are using Roadhouse to sell plumbing fixtures." Wait, what? Okay.
No doubt this extra rate's going to be highlighted if there's ever a comparison video.
Yep. Hugh Jackman had this to say about wrapping filming for Deadpool 3. Quote, "What a ride. I loved every minute of making this movie. Well, not the training and diet, but like the other 93.2%. To the best cast and crew, thank you. You're all aces. To two of my best mates, Ryan Reynolds and Sean Levy, I literally couldn't have done this without you. Literally. July 26th can't come soon enough. Time to shave." Jon Stewart will return to host The Daily Show. He will act as a host on Monday nights throughout 2024. Yeah, they've been having issues finding a new host, and it is an election year, so yeah. I mean, it will be nice to see him back, but at the same time, I kind of feel bad for him. It's like he had moved on from this, but he's basically being dragged back in.
Kind of interesting that this is having trouble, and yet things like Late Night Tonight Show, things like that have don't have much trouble.
Yeah. In another piece of what the hell news, Netflix is scrapping The Mothership, a sci-fi thriller starring Halle Berry, which has completed filming, but the studio now plans to never release the film. They've also hinted at further price increases for subscribers. Quote, "As we invest in and improve Netflix, we'll occasionally ask our members to pay a little extra to reflect those improvements." Ah yes, improvements such as fewer things to watch. Glenn Powell tells us how he looks back on his roles in Spy Kids 3D and The Dark Knight Rises with fondness. Quote, "I'm really proud to be part of Spy Kids 3D and with The Dark Knight Rises. Getting my head smashed by Bane. If nothing else happened in my career, at least I got my ass kicked by Bane." That's fair. Oppenheimer's been nominated for 13 Oscars, making it one of the most nominated films ever. Got a new trailer for the live-action Avatar: The Last Airbender series, releasing on February 22nd on Netflix, and I have to say, I didn't actually watch the trailer, but I've seen clips of it via Twitter, and it looks good. WWE Raw will be streamed exclusively on Netflix starting January 2025. And in related news, Dwayne Johnson has been granted full ownership of the Rock trademark name. He has also joined the board of directors for the TKO Group, the merged company of WWE and the UFC. Invincible Season 2 Part 2 premieres on March 14th. Clark Gregg and Anthony Starr will star in G20 alongside Viola Davis. The film follows terrorists who overtake the G20 summit, and the US president must use her military experience to defend her family and fellow leaders. Okay, I can kind of see the reaction to that film going badly from like multiple angles. A, from the more conservative side, complaining about it being woke for having a female president, and B, it's like, okay, so the president must use their military experience to take down the terrorists. Like, oh wow, it's a mindless action film. Yeah, like nothing wrong with the female president, but I'm just pointing out that like there's gonna be, those people, and like I'm all for more female lead roles, but at the same time it just gives off those like 80s, 90s action film vibes,
Speaking of which, Independence Day, but more down to earth.
But
Because Bill Pullman's character was previously a combat pilot.
ah. A new Jurassic World movie is in the works. Jurassic Park screenwriter David Coop will write the script to introduce a new Jurassic era. I believe they had names for those. Yeah, I believe the next era of films would be Cretaceous Park, I believe. Unfortunately, we completely skipped. Ooh, prequel series, Triassic Park. Additional post-release content for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League includes Joker as a playable character, 3 other new playable characters, and new playable environments. Review codes have not been sent out to people, and yeah, I believe it releases next week, so that's not a good sign. Okay, oh no. A new Fairly Odd Parents series is reportedly in the works at Netflix. The series would follow Wanda and Cosmo coming out of retirement to grant wishes for Hazel, a 10-year-old girl who has moved to Dimadelphia. They keep trying to bring it back. at least give it like a decade before, or let it rest. Jeffrey Wright says he hasn't seen a script for the Batman 2 yet. Quote, I'm being patient, letting Matt Reeves do his thing, which is going to be magical and wonderful. Magical? Oh, do you mean John Constantine? John Constantine's going to be in this one? Mortal Kombat 2 has wrapped filming. New cast includes Tati Gabrielle as Jade, Adeline Rudolph as Kitana, Martin Ford as Shao Kahn, Carl Urban as Johnny Cage, Damon Harriman as Quan Chi, Desmond Chiam as King Jared. That's like the one character list that I've never heard of. And Anna Thune. That name that starts with an N, then Guyan. I keep struggling with how to wind that back. I keep struggling with how to pronounce that name as Queen Sindel. Ooh, uh-oh. Christopher Reeve's family says they did not have any involvement in a CGI cameo in The Flash, and they haven't watched the film. Oof. Like, are we talking no involvement? Or like, did they even get permission? Like, I assumed that they got permission, but... Oh. Creator Duncan Rolio, or however you pronounce his last name, would love to make an adult animated Ben 10 series. Quote, it would be great to have a high-stakes show. Oh. Sorry about that. It would be great to have a high-stakes show with more mature themes. Not so interested in gross sexual content, but dealing with emotional, social, and political elements. Yeah, I could see that working. I mean, you could do that in a regular animated series as well. You just have to be a bit more subtle with it.
More so Batman the Animated Series rather than Hazbin Hotel, is what they're saying.
Yeah. Daniel Kaluuya says the popularity of Spider-Punk and Across the Spider-Verse caught him off guard. Quote, a lot of people come up to me, like, my kids love you. He's not at them film that much, so I think that caught me by surprise. The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie, will reportedly release in theaters this fall. Oddballs was quietly cancelled and won't return for season 3. I don't even know what Oddballs is.
You may have seen the character design on occasion.
Yeah. Jellystone Season 3 will premiere on Max on February 22nd. The season will feature crossovers with cartoons such as Billy and Mandy. Tika Sumter thinks new info on Sonic 3 and the Knuckles series. Sorry, let me rephrase that. Tika Sumter thinks that new info on Sonic 3 and Knuckles is coming very soon. I think that info is coming very soon, but you're going to be extremely happy. I think there is a lot coming, so just you wait. That's all I got for you. They'll fire me. Crunchyroll announces The Witch and the Beast anime's English dub, cast, and premiere. Ooh, let's check that out. Who do we got here? No one I really recognize. Hey, they have someone whose first name starts with an X, so hey, that's different. It also reveals new Ninja Kamui anime trailer. Fortnite will return to iOS, but only in Europe. An official Dungeons and Dragons VR game is in the works. Or we could just use Tabletop Simulator, that works just as well. Death Stranding Director's Cut arrives on iPhone 15 Pro next week. Persona 3 for Nintendo Switch isn't totally out of the questions, according to its director. Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth limits New Game Plus access to Digital Deluxe and Ultimate Editions. You can now change your character's appearance in Destiny 2. Ooh, new Pretty Series TV anime's teaser unveils cast, staff, title, and an April debut. Okay, what do we got here? Let's see now. Okay, so title of Himitsu no Aipri, or Secret Aipri. Okay. Okay, so secret is the theme of the series. Okay, looks like it might have a musical theme going on. Which, okay. Ooh, review for Gundam Seed Free Eden film. Okay, just gonna put that on the side tab. I'll be checking that out later. Okay, checking the other site. Oh yeah, so there's been some controversy involving the Hugo Awards. So basically last year, okay, so the Hugo Awards is basically a big awards thing for books and stuff. And basically they're nominated at Worldcon. That's actually one of the conventions I'm going to next year. And last year it was held in China, which itself was notable for controversy for a sudden overwhelming email campaign to get votes for it to be there. So yeah, apparently some notable authors were excluded from being voted on with no reason given, even though they were eligible the previous year. Which is usually like, okay, if they were eligible the previous year and didn't get in, they're still eligible. So yeah, there's just been some controversy involving that.
And just to mention it in lead up, let's just say they've been overly sensitive.
Yeah.
Preparatory chapter NRHS. Requires farmer background CPU 1200.
Ooh. Speaking of the whole WWE thing, apparently Slim Jim has paused advertising following the allegations. Which, if you're at all familiar with their advertising way back when, they were popular for using Macho Man Randy Savage to advertise their product.
Always rises to the top.
That's right.
I should know that my knowledge comes from a Syracuse episode, and only later on I started including them in my lunches. It's been a while since I had one, actually.
Yeah. But yeah. Also, Disney is laying off 115 employees, most of which are part-time, from Shop Disney, and will outsource guest relations to a third-party company.
Wait on Central Climax to be returning to the Active roster this year.
The arsonist responsible for the Kyoto animation fire has been sentenced to death.
Is the studio reassembly underway? Can you see the early turn? Events were ended. A new CEO. What Chris Line?
The estate of George Carlin has sued the creators of an AI-generated comedy special in a key lawsuit over the star's likenesses. I saw that there was a thread that was like, oh yeah, India's courts to rule on who invented butter chicken. Not media related, but now I'm getting hungry again. And speaking of wrestling yet again, Dark Side of the Ring is back for its 5th season on March 5th. The winner of a prestigious Japanese literary award has confirmed that AI helped her write her book. Which, okay, it depends on like to the extent. Like if you use it for like checking errors and stuff, then I don't see too much issue with that. Well, apparently according to one person, the AI written parts were dialogue used by an AI within the novel. So I mean, like, if you're using AI to write the dialogue for AI, that, huh? I mean, if you think about it, that's kind of brilliant. Like, you're getting what the AI would actually say.
Much like if he's working with an actual foreigner to make sure the accents and dialect are accurate.
Yeah, if that's mainly what it was used for, then I don't see too much issue with it. But of course, it comes down to if it was used for anything else in the book. Apparently, Rio from Shenmue is mentioned in Like a Dragon: Infinite Wealth. Okay, interesting. Starting like a Sega expanded universe thing going on. Street Fighter 6 wins Esports Title of the Year at the Japanese Esports Awards.
Prince Pipe, Steam Seats recondition, Zap in Alaska's 557 restoration.
Lunar Silver Star Touch is coming to Android. Apparently, it's actually been available on iPhone for a while now. It's like, okay, Lunar series getting some love. That's nice. The only Lunar game I've played is Lunar Dragon Song, and people don't like to talk about that one. apparently Atlas Japan streamed the first hour of Persona 3 Reload. Wait, I thought that wasn't allowed. Like usually for Atlas games, like, oh no, don't stream our games. Then again, it is a remake of like a what 20-year-old game or something. Okay, Persona 3, that was PlayStation 2, so around yeah, early-ish 2000s probably.
Camping, saving Circus 1, 127, Northeast Pennsylvania. Surpass fundraising goal. Logging during our Swift creates partnership with the State Forest Service.
Oof. Aggro Crab Games robbed for the third time as Junior devs came to help. Apparently the thieves stole an Xbox mini fridge, likely confusing it for the real thing. But at least they had their Xbox Series S toaster.
Monon is the next heritage card out of CSX.
Eiji Aonuma apparently has been seen at Universal Studios Orlando.
Your turn, heritage. 7 Ontario. Season operations. Uncertain future. Copy year 69 to set Blue Bell for 394% God Weekend.
Horizon Forbidden West Complete Edition hits PC March 21st.
Best were like Area 6 for 3 if when they headed to Sugar Creek. Downriver from inspection cars back.
Smash Bros. Ultimate will be adding spirits from Power Pros, Hades, and 13 Sentinels on January 26th for a limited time.
to Railcar City. That's their Inglewood Explorer.
Love Live School Idol Festival 2 Miracle Live Global Version launch announced for February 2024. The shutdown of said game is also announced for May 31st, 2024. Yeah. The current bet is that they were legally obligated to release the game, but the shutdown for the Japanese version was also announced recently, so it's like at least they gave everyone else a heads up not to spend money on it. Yeah, it's weird. So the Final Fantasy XIV TV series in development is officially dead, which is unfortunate. I would have watched it.
And Eric knows Grantor's friends family of Bob Lancey, Philadelphia Eagles, Don Lester, St. Louis Cardinals, Dexter King, son of Martin and Corinth Scott. Jack James, last survivor of Permadeath Railway, a British World War II veteran. Gary Graham, Alienation, Star Trek Enterprise. Takashi Zor, Kamen Rider. Art Holcomb, ER 6 Minute Other Man, 2009 Emmy winner. And arguably the biggest one here for this week, Herbert Coward, Deliverance.
Yep.
I will see if I can schedule the coming month prepared, but
Yeah.
starting then, if you need time afterwards, we'll see if there's something we can bring up. Something we may discuss for something one of us may have watched over the course of the week or recently. Or something of the week. Hopefully that will be able to stick in and work from there. hopefully I didn't interfere too much with, in my case at least.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully I can find a way to, also think I'm trying something, somewhere within the week. It should improve performance. And Tuesday, stay safe, stay well, get boosted, pray, and